Welcome to my channel Flights Assistance A200 and 2500 Breakthrough and Air India Flight Removals. What's going on? The query seems to reference two distinct topics: the Airbus A200 and 2500 and Air India's recent flight cancellations. However, there's no direct connection between the Airbus A200 and 2500 and Air India's flight removals based on available information. 1. Airbus A200 and 2500 overview. Airbus A200 and 2500 is a proposed stretched variant of the A200 and 20 family, designed to compete with larger narrowbody aircraft like the Boeing 737 and Airbus A320. It aims to carry around 140 to 160 passengers, offering a longer range and increased capacity compared to the A200 and 2100 and A200 and 2300. The aircraft is still in the conceptual phase, with Airbus engaging airlines to gauge interest, but no firm launch date has been confirmed. 2. A200 and 2500 development status. Airbus has not officially launched the A200 and 2500, though discussions with potential customers, including Air France-KLM, have been reported. The aircraft would leverage the A200 and 20's fuel-efficient design, powered by Pratt & Whitney PW1500G engines, but requires significant market demand to justify production. Development costs and supply chain constraints, particularly for engines, are key hurdles. 3. A200 and 2500 market positioning. The A200 and 2500 would target airlines seeking efficient, mid-sized aircraft for regional and medium-haul routes. Its appeal lies in lower operating costs, up to 25% less fuel per seat than older narrowbodies, and flexibility for high-density or premium configurations. It could challenge Boeing's 700 and 37 MAX 7 and older A300 and 20 variants in markets like Europe, Asia, and North America. 4. Air India's fleet and A200 and 20 relevance. Air India primarily operates Airbus A300 and 20 family aircraft for narrowbody operations and Boeing 787s and 700 and 77s for widebody routes. There's no evidence Air India has ordered or plans to acquire the A200 and 2500. The airline's recent operational focus has been on fleet modernization and safety, not on adopting new aircraft types like the A200 and 2500. 5. Air India's flight cancellations. Air India has recently reduced flights due to operational and safety concerns, following the tragic crash of Flight AR-171, a Boeing 787, on June 12, 2025, in Ahmedabad, which killed 274 people. The airline cancelled 8 flights on June 20, including 4 international routes, citing maintenance and operational reasons, with bookings dropping 20% post-crash. 6. Narrowbody flight reductions. Air India announced a 5% reduction in narrowbody operations, primarily affecting its Airbus A300 and 20 fleet, until at least July 15, 2025. This impacts domestic and short-haul international routes. The airline is offering reaccommodation, rescheduling, or refunds to affected passengers to mitigate disruptions. 7. Widebody fleet under scrutiny. The airline's 33 Boeing 787s are undergoing enhanced safety checks by India's Directorate General of Civil Aviation, DGCA, after the AI-171 crash. This has led to a 15% cut in widebody operations, further straining Air India's network. The crash investigation, involving black box data analysis, is ongoing to determine if systemic issues exist. 8. Safety and regulatory issues. The DGCA warned Air India before the crash for operating 3 Airbus aircraft, including an A319 and A320, with overdue emergency equipment checks, such as escape slides, violating safety standards. This has fueled criticism of the airline's maintenance practices and regulatory oversight. 9. Impact on passenger confidence. The Ahmedabad crash and subsequent cancellations have eroded passenger trust, with a reported 20% drop in bookings. Some travelers are avoiding Air India or Boeing aircraft, opting for alternatives or cancelling plans. A surge in demand for flight anxiety therapy reflects heightened public fear. 10. Air India's response and future outlook. Air India, under Tata Group ownership since 2022, is addressing these challenges by enhancing safety protocols, cooperating with DGCA investigations, and deploying 500 employees to support crash victims' families. CEO Campbell Wilson emphasized restoring consumer confidence through operational stability and fare adjustments. The airline aims to maintain nearly 600 daily flights despite reductions. Analysis and context. The Airbus A220-500 remains a speculative addition to the aviation market, with no confirmed orders or direct relevance to Air India's current operations. Air India's flight removal stemmed from a combination of safety concerns, regulatory pressure, and the aftermath of the AI-171 crash, which exposed systemic issues in maintenance and oversight. The airline's A320 family aircraft, not A220s, are central to its narrowbody reductions, while the Boeing 787 crash has intensified scrutiny on its widebody fleet. The DGCA's findings on overdue safety checks and the crash investigation highlight broader challenges in India's aviation sector, including regulatory gaps and audit weaknesses. Air India's proactive measures, like contacting affected passengers and intensifying safety checks, aim to rebuild trust, but public perception remains fragile, as seen in increased flight anxiety and booking declines. The A220-500 could theoretically align with Air India's modernization goals, given its efficiency and suitability for regional routes, but the airline's immediate focus is on stabilizing operations and addressing safety lapses. Without evidence of Air India's interest in the A220-500, any connection to its flight cancellations is speculative. Air India's flight reductions are a direct response to operational and safety challenges, not linked to the Airbus A220-500, which remains a proposed aircraft without confirmed adoption by the airline. The crash of AI-171 and regulatory warnings have forced Air India to prioritize safety and reliability, impacting its schedule and passenger confidence. Meanwhile, the A220-500 represents a future possibility for efficient narrowbody operations, but its relevance to Air India's current situation is negligible. For A220-500 updates, industry sources like Airbus's official channels are recommended. Hope you like this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.